Hello, happy Friday. We are back with another episode of the Tech Behind FinTech. I'm your host, Nnamdi Osuagwu. Wonderful day to be here. Always love these shows. You know what? Without further ado, I think we're going to hop into it. Just so if you're new to the show, what we do is discuss the technology behind the FinTech. Some weeks we have some guests, some interesting topics dive. Others we just talk about the news and relevant things of the week that we're gonna hop into. Feel free to leave a comment, ask a question, or even add some additional information for our audience, and I'll post you up on our whether we're on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I'll post you up on the screen. Depending on your question or your comment or your insight. So feel free to put that in our comment block. If you're tuning in from Instagram, you don't have that option, unfortunately. So you can go to the techbehindfintech.com and you can see one of our links, whether it's YouTube, LinkedIn, or Twitch. So turning my head because I have two different cameras. One camera is for Instagram. The other camera is for LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitch and Facebook. Those are the platforms that we are streaming live from, where you can actually see our presentation deck as we go forward with the news. So without further ado, let's get it started. Let me do a couple of housekeeping things. Switch the banner. Comments are on. Okay. One thing I need to do is do that. Give me a second. Getting things in order. Okay. Add this to a stream. All right. So look, where are we starting off with? Tech companies laid off 7,200 people this week. So it's, a lot of layoffs throughout the tech industry. Some of the fintechs that have laid people off this week include Bolt, PayPal, Klarna, Zebra, Common Bond, Main Street, and Bitso. So let's just get into some of that. It's interesting in this article because you have layoffs, but then on another side, some firms are aggressively hiring, and we're going to get into that whole situation. Let's see, yeah, someone just posted on Instagram. Glad you will keep the public updated. Yeah, no problem at all. Also, if you wanna add your comments to the YouTube, to my Instagram followers, you go to the techbehindfintech.com and you'll see the information that we're posting on the slide deck that we go through. So so some of these layoffs include, I'm going to post a link to some websites that display them. So PayPal said that cutting staff will end up saving the company $260 million a year. Buy now, pay later giant Klarna is to let go of approximately 10% of its global workforce. So they have approximately 7,000 employees. So that's about 700. As borrowing costs climb to their highest level on record, Bloomberg reports that as rising rates are expected to shave $16 billion off the company's valuation in the upcoming fund round. So that's the situation going on there. It's an interesting site that I came across. See if I have that reference for you guys. I don't think I have the reference handy, but it was listing all tech layoffs. I think it was called layoffs. I don't want to give the wrong information. I don't have it, but I will post some of the, I don't have that at my disposal, unfortunately. But what I wanted to talk about was, I'm going to post this article. So you have massive layoffs going on there, but on another side, companies like Revolut, it's a $33 billion digital bank startup, said the company is actively hiring with over 250 open roles listed on its website. While another company, Wise, formerly TransferWise, is now just Wise. Let me post what the CEO said. He basically said, he posted on Twitter, years of building Wise as a profitable long-term company is paying off now. We're in such a different place to other tech who are working on layoffs. So much demand for international banking. We can't hire people fast enough to build it. 385 open roles. So really interesting. So, I mean, what we basically saw was, hold up, let me move some stuff down. You know, the biggest thing, so digital finance got a major boost from the COVID pandemic as people turned to online channels to make payments, apply for loans, and trade shares. But the sector has taken a beating in 2022 as the war in Ukraine, rising inflation, and higher interest rates have led investors to question lofty valuations in that space. Um, Really interesting. I mean, we definitely saw, right? During 2020, a lot of services, both fintech, services like Zoom, just a lot of digital service got an influx of business. I mean, we saw Robinhood, different, exchanges and so forth. And then later on, and they went on a hiring frenzy. And then later on, unfortunately, now in 2022, there's been layoffs. So, I think what Simon Sinek, I was just reading a book called The Infinite Game, and then he describes companies like Wise as playing an infinite game rather than a finite. So it's a very, very interesting read and how it relates to what's going on right now. So I just want to talk about that. I just found the switch interesting from one side of the layoffs to another side of the aggressively hiring, based on what this particular CEO said, thinking about long term company growth throughout the years, which is paying off now. All right, let's move on. Let's do a quick shout out to the people watching. I see some new people joined on Instagram. Thank you very much. Once again, if you want to see the deck and the information that we're talking about, you could go to our website, techbehindfintech.com, and watch it live there. Or we have links to our platforms we are streaming: Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitch. I just want to give that message. All right, let's move on to the next. So there's right now conference. There was a conference going on this week. Basically, the World Economic Forum 2022 in Davos, Switzerland. Adjacent to that is the Global Blockchain Business Council's Blockchain Central Davos conference. On a panel, Michael Maybach, the CEO of Mastercard, told an audience of blockchain executives that he expects SWIFT to phase out of existence in as little as 5 years' time. So it's a pretty bold statement. Later on, I think he said in a panel, but the Mastercard spokesperson downplayed the comments in the email statement. Let us clarify the intent of the onstage comment, as it's not as simple as yes or no. Michael was simply reinforcing what SWIFT has previously said. Their operations continue to evolve. Its current form will not be the same in the future. They are adding more functionality and moving past just being a messaging system. It's interesting how that plays out, right? Someone is talking a bit freely on a panel, but got to go back to PR, and they rephrase it. So let's get into it, right? What is Swift Banking? Swift is a member-owned global cooperative that provides secure private financial transactions for its members. Banks and other financial institutions can use Swift to expedite payments by sending transaction information rapidly, securely, and accurately. Swift is primarily a service for communication. It acts as a messenger between banks rather than participating in financial transactions directly. It does not accept or receive funds or provide options for maintaining accounts. Instead, it gives banks a secure and effective network to communicate with one another about transactions. Another thing that I saw, so I just want to kind of give that. Numerous banks and countries use Swift network for payments and wire transfers. More than 11,000 institutions are Swift members. They have sent a collective 8.4 billion messages through Swift's core financial services communication. So, yeah, essentially, they said Swift processed 42 million messages a day last year, but transactions on the network can take several days to complete. The company was striving to maintain its relevance in the international economic order, especially in the regards to CBDCs. central bank digital currency. So listen, right? What does all that mean? As we know, um, when you start looking at, and a lot of nation states are going towards the central bank digital currencies. I mean, if you look at forms of crypto, it's not. It's extremely quick for cross-border payments to get sent. So, you either have to adapt or evolve. And so the comments are bold, but even Swift, right? They are experimenting. So on May 19th, Swift announced a second round of experiments involving CBDCs collaborating with fintech IT company Capgemini to explore the linking of domestic CBDCs to facilitate seamless cross-border payments. So look, they're aware. When you start looking at payment systems, I mean, if you looked at what Ripple was trying to accomplish, it's quicker and it's cheaper. So you have to figure out how to evolve. So it's interesting he made that statement. He probably, in hindsight, looks like they had to clean it up, but really interesting where things are going. I mean, people want to get funds and finances in a quicker manner. Okay, let's talk about it. We have a comment about it. Swift is anything but. I clarify. It's LinkedIn user. It's probably one of our viewers. I would assume this is Medina because she usually comes in as LinkedIn user. Um, put a comment. Let me know if this is Medina. But finish the comment. I'll give you a second before I move on. Looks like sometimes it's like a little bit of a delay in comment. I don't have. I want to get some more information so might have to dive into it. In the meantime, let me see. It looks like some people just joined on our Instagram. Thanks for joining. Man of Mayor, appreciate you for joining, brother. Let's see. Got Success Jay on Instagram just joined. Thanks for joining. I'm just doing some waves. Let me look. All right, I don't see the comment. I don't know if you want to add more to the comment, but right now it says Swift is anything but. But I think there's some more that you might want to say. I'll give you a second before I move on to the next article. And in the meantime, I'll just check on some Instagram stuff. Okay. All right. So look, we're gonna move on to the next article. You add the comment. We'll circle back. Okay. Let's go on. InsurAce says it will pay millions to claimants after the terrorist collapse. So we've been talking about this like for the last few weeks with the just to give an update. So Terra, the company Terra with their Luna coin and their stable coin, Terra USD, basically, it collapsed over the last few weeks. So some of the users are trying to file some insurance claims on it. So DeFi insurance protocol InsurAce took heat from the community for suddenly shortening its claim period for terror-related insurance claims. But it's already set to pay out 11 million to claimants. Let's get into it. So essentially, this article it was some issues because they wanted to shorten the period, but they're saying that they're well within their rights to reduce the claim period for people affected by Terra USD, the DPEG event from 15 days to 7. But added, it's already processed nearly 173 submitted claims and will pay out 11 million. So they said that on May 13th, InsurAce caused a stir when it announced it had shortened claims window for those with cover-related anchor, mirror, and stablecoin Terra UST following the collapse of the Terra one-layer blockchain. But Chief Marketing Officer Dan Thompson told Cointelegraph on Thursday that its move to shorten claims window for the 234 covers of Terra portfolios was necessary to prevent further losses of UST had dropped to 8 cents. So yeah, interesting stuff. I won't spend too much time on this. Just saw it pop up, and this is something we've been talking about since the collapse of that Terra UST coin. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next article right now. Okay, This is something I'm actually going to post this because I found this really interesting. So let me just post this real time bidding. It's the last article. We try to get into some security. This is more around privacy. I mean, in the advertising space. So it's really interesting. It's not something that I dived into previously to research in this article, but we are going to dive in it today. I'm just posting the reference right now. All right, so I just posted it in the comment blocks. Once again, if you're on Instagram, you're not seeing what we're seeing, but if you go onto YouTube or Tech Behind FinTech, you can actually see this. We're going to go through an infographic and break down real-time payment and how your data is being shared. Really insightful stuff. So I recommend that you go to either YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Go to our website and you can click the button and watch it live from there. Oh no, that's okay. Comments are coming back. Like this is an article. Yeah, they're definitely not Swift. And not as secure for sure. But payments are, the transactions are faster. I think that was his comment. So this is back to the Swift. I think it was another comment on that. They are not Swift. 100% understand. I think you mean like the CB. Yeah, obviously, they 100% get with you on that. I think what he meant by like in 5 years, just seeing where the industry goes and just the speed and the cost effectiveness of sending payments. So, Swift is on the messaging side. I agree with you on that, but it was just interesting with his comment saying that it's going to be obsolete in 5 years. So, let's definitely see where things go. And as always, thanks for the comments. If you want to add some more information, definitely feel free to do so. And I'll post you up. All right, I'm gonna remove that from the screen. All right, let's get into it. So came across this really interesting article on the security side, more around privacy. Your data is being auctioned off up to 987 times a day. This NGO reports the average American has their personal information shared in an online ad bidding war 747 times a day. For the average EU citizen, that number is 376 times a day. In 1 year, 178 trillion instances of the same bidding war happen online in EU. And what are we talking about here, right? So you go to websites and you see those ads. There's a behind the scenes bidding exchange that goes into what ads you see. So, according to the data shared by the Irish Council on Civil Liberties and a report detailing the extent of real time bidding, the technology that drives almost all online advertising, in which it's said it relies on sharing of personal information without the user consent. Um, so, RTB we're going to get into this. It's a subsection of, what's the word? Let me just get into this. It's a subsection of programmatic advertising. So it's a whole ecosystem around programmatic advertising. Is they say you could think of that as being the king of the technology driven digital ad selling and buying, while RTB, real time bidding, is one critical part of it. RTB plays a significant role within the programmatic kingdom and rather can be classified as a type of programmatic advertising. Hold on. Getting some comments. I take the comments first. So let's jump into it. Let me post a comment here and we can continue with the thing. Apple has a video on YouTube about these data brokers. Stephen Colbert actually had a whole show on this where I believe he sourced the data from members of Congress. Oh, that's awesome. If you have the link to that, post it and I'll post it in the comments so it can live with this video. That's a good reference, especially any YouTube links you have to that. I'll post it up. Yeah, I haven't. This is something I haven't personally dived into, so this was insightful for me. Just for the research of the show. So, and we're gonna break down for the audience. It's a good infographic. I think it's sourced from who is hosting or something like that. Yeah, who is hosting this? They source this infographic. So, let's get into real-time bidding though. So once again, if you're on Instagram, you may not see this slide deck, but might be worth it to go to the website to check it out. Okay, let's get big for a second. I'm gonna go through each one of these things. There we go. Okay, so what is real-time bidding? The first part, advertisers considered the buyers, demand side of the platform. It's a tool that automates purchasing of online advertising on behalf of the advertisers. DSPs set buying parameters of campaigns and monitor campaign performance. So you have the buyers, which are the advertisers. Next, you have the exchanges. They are compared to the stock exchange, but for advertisers. It's a software tool that connects advertisers to publishers, facilitates the purchase of display inventory in real time through auctions. Auctions can take place in milliseconds before the page loads. So it's happening behind the scenes in like quicker than that, me snapping my fingers. Amazing. Through these auctions, the publishers can maximize the price for their inventory while advertisers can purchase individual impressions at prices that reflect each impression's value to the campaign. Publishers basically are the website owners. They're the sellers. So once again, buyers are the advertisers. You have the exchange where they're bringing the buyers and sellers together on the platform, and then you have the publishers, the website owners, and so forth, who are basically the sellers. They're accepting these bids. So the publisher provides the inventory. Some publishers may use simple side platforms to help better manage and sell their inventory. Advertisers use SSPs to maximize the impression sales price, while marketers use DSPs. So they're on the advertising side. This infographic is pretty awesome, actually. When you start just breaking it down from impression to inventory. All right, let's move on. So real-time bidding allows you to bid for an ad space on a publisher's website, so your ad is possibly displayed when the website loads. A maximum price is set before the bidding begins. CPM refers to cost per thousand impressions. Advertisers can place value on each opportunity to buy the ad in real time. All right, let's go on to the next slide. So let's look at the whole RTB, real-time bidding simplified. So the publisher provides the inventory to the ad exchange, who is responsible for holding an auction. The DSP bids on behalf of the advertisers. The bid's value is based on the value of the impression as determined by the advertiser's parameters set within the DSP. The bidding process ensures each impression is sold at a maximum price dictated by real-time market demand. Once the bidding is completed, the winner is chosen and the ad is served on the publisher's website. All right, let's go back to the exit full screen. Oh, cool. I think Medina posted some links. So who does RTB benefit? Agencies, more control over the performance of the campaign, more efficient spending, better targeted results. Advertisers, more narrow targeting, no more wasted impressions. Publishers, much higher revenue on the inventory since buyers maximize the value of impressions. Spending becomes more efficient and we can discover new trends. All right, let's get out of the full screen. And interesting stuff. So, okay, let's okay, so first of all, we have that's interesting. We're gonna go dive a little bit more into some stats on that. In the meantime, I think Dina, she gave us some articles. So it was on a John Oliver show. Yeah, he sounds like he would do more a show like that. I like his shows, it's really informative, the ones from HBO. So I just posted the link on our so you can stay with the video. You can find that later. It's also in the comments. You hide that. Also, she's given some information on Apple's short video in the matter. We posted the link so you can see it on the video playback. All right. Thank you for that. Really appreciate you. All right. So let's get into it. There's a couple of stuff that I saw at this article that I found really interesting. All right, so first of all, Google owns the largest ad network that was included in the report. It alone offers real time bidding data to 4,698 companies in just the US. Other large advertising networks include Xandr, owned by Microsoft since the late 2021, Verizon, Comatic, and more. As far back as 2019, Google and other ad tech giants were accused by the UK of knowingly breaking the law by using RTB, a case it continues to investigate. Earlier this year, the Belgian Data Protect Authority ruled that RTB practices violated the GDPR and required organizations working with the IAB to delete all data collected through the use of TC strings, a type of coded character used by the RTB process. So essentially it's a 500 billion a year industry. One of the comments from one of the executives, it's a 500 billion a year industry that pays for free internet and allows people of diverse backgrounds unbiased access to millions of services. That's his take on it. Another aspect is the privacy concerns. Um, that actually was the last thing today. So that was the last thing for on our plate today. Wow, we lasted for about 27 minutes. Cool. Yeah. So that was the last thing. Interesting stuff around privacy and other things that we covered in this week. Uh, Next week's episode every week on Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Always look forward to doing the show. Thank you for viewing and watching the show. That's definitely appreciative. Even if you're gonna watch it, I don't know, tomorrow, a week from now, next year, still thank you for the views and the insights. Something that I'm obviously passionate about, working in the industry, and I'd like to do the research and present to you guys. On another note, this is Memorial Day weekend. All those who have lost someone and all those who have served, definitely thank you for your service. And yeah, just wanted to say that. Next, that's pretty much it. Hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Make it great. And we are out. Once again, thanks for viewing. Cheers.